President Carey, guests, fellow Rotarians, I've been with Rotary now for probably just a little bit over a month, and this is a useful session, I suppose, for me to give you a bit more information about me and who I am. I understand these things are supposed to be reasonably light-hearted, and so I think I've been able to achieve that. Although when I did speak to my wife this morning, who's up in Auckland, and I said, well, I've got to come along and give a 5-minute presentation, she said, good luck. You've never been able to give any presentation for less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes is usually 35, which turns into an hour. And when she said, well, what are you going to talk about? And I said, me. She said, they've got no hope in hell.
So that's 4 minutes now.
It's 4 minutes, yeah, that's right. Time's up. So I thought I'd keep it reasonably light-hearted. So this is my wife and I, Mel. We were in the States in March earlier this year. This is in New York, Central Park. In fact, it was a wonderful, wonderful trip. And when I asked my wife Mel as well this morning to say, well, look, how would you sort of give your take on me? She said, look, tell them this. Tell them that your wife is a remarkably patient and tolerant woman, and that will tell them all they need to know. And I said to her, well, look, while few truer words have been spoken, my love, there is a trade-off, and the trade-off is that you're also a remarkably lucky woman. The two of us, we've got quite a bit planned over the next couple of years. We have now decided that we need to travel a lot more. And so for the next 5 years, we're going to be heading to Tahiti, Alaska, Cuba, France and Italy, and then New Orleans. So it's going to be a quite exciting period of a couple of years for us on the travel front. Earlier this morning, my wife as well, she's obviously quite engaged in this whole conversation here this morning, he'd said, well, look, don't give my perspective necessarily. Here's the perspective of someone else. Hang on, where is it? There it is. And so this was a blog that she found that someone had written about me several years ago. I had no idea this existed. But I'll give you a moment to read that and then tell you what sat in behind it.
You read it out?
Yeah, it says... It says that dickwad anonymous sounds like Kane Patena, the manager of Housing New Zealand Investigations Manukau. I bet you he kicked you out because you are white and have parents with money. The guy will kiss his fascist manager's ass to get his own racist agenda through the psychopathic corporation books. You can't beat a bunch of corrupt fascists with loads of black fraud money and an evil agenda that is never checked. What sat in behind this was that I was the head of Housing New Zealand's investigations and governance and assurance group, and part of that function looked at consumer fraud and allegations of corruption as well. And in this particular case, we had a chap who was renting a state house. He claimed about 90 grand in rental subsidies, courtesy of the taxpayer, sublet the property for a profit, and also ran his own property portfolio at the same time. And in this particular case, we decided it wasn't good. Let's prosecute him, kicked him out of the house, froze all of his assets and his company assets as well. So this guy was none too pleased. Anyway, the message there is don't be worried about everyone's perspective, because I'm pretty sure it's not a very fair reflection on me, or at least that's my story and I'm sticking to it. On a personal note, my wife and I have one son called Isaac. That's Isaac and I there on the top sort of left-hand side, and that's him on the bottom right-hand side with one of his exchange student friends from South Africa. And so my wife and I have been together for 20 years. We've been married for 10. And we have Isaac there, who's 18 now, turns 19 at the end of this year. More often than not, when I say that, people will say, well, hang on a minute, you look too young to have a child that old. And it's not because I look young, it's because I am actually quite young. My wife and I got started at quite an early age, and so it's quite nice to be in the position that we are now, where he's all grown up and the two of us have pretty much got to the end of the finish line and still got quite a nice sort of period ahead of us where we can do what we want to do, such as travel. We've got a dog. I thought you couldn't do a presentation without having a cute photograph of our dog, and that's Sam. But on a more serious note, the reason why I am down here in Wellington is because our firm had set up Wellington, an office here in Wellington. So I work for Meredith Connell, which is a law firm. and I'm responsible for heading up our Wellington office. And next week we officially tick over our first year of operation, which is quite exciting, to say the least. My general philosophy when it comes to the career and the approach and the pathway that I've taken is really to focus on creating opportunities, and also to focus on doing what people say cannot be done. What in terms of what's next for me, well, who knows? I'm here. I'm certainly enjoying Wellington. I love this place. I love the people. Having spent a bit of time here before, and I can certainly see me being here for quite some time. So I've enjoyed the first month and meeting a few people from Rotary. It made me feel extremely welcome, and I thank you very much for that and look forward to meeting you and getting to know you all a bit better going forward.